Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a really fun makeup look on my beautiful model Cindy today.
Hello.
She's here being my model, and we are going to be using all cream products today. We're going to be doing cream eyeshadow, cream blush, obviously cream lipstick, and probably a cream contour and highlight. And I wanted to demo this for you guys today because a lot of people don't think to use these products because they may be intimidating, they're different, they're not your standard powders that we're used to, but they're honestly a little bit easier than using powders, and you get such a great finish. Powders tend to pull texture from our skin and make it look more like we're wearing makeup if you like a really natural look, which we all do. The creams are super great for that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on her eyes first. I did not prime them, I did her brows, but I'm gonna add a little bit of concealer before we get started, just a teeny bit to prime, just to kind of get my colors all even, and then we're gonna go in with our cream shadows.
Cream shadows, that'll be
interesting.
interesting.
Have you ever used creams before?
No.
It'll be fun.
Very few, maybe cream blush, but that'll be a new experience.
Yeah, they're like these, like they're sticks. So you can just draw it on and then kind of blend it. Go ahead and close for me. I grabbed, these ones are Laura Mercier, and I got them.
Her.
Do you love her stuff? So good.
Yes.
Me too.
Well, a little bit goes a long ways.
Yeah, Laura Mercier has really great products. What do you like of her stuff?
Oh, I like everything. I like the shadows, the concealer. I like basically everything from them. I like their way you can use their shadows for liner. The colors.
Yeah, it's a great line. Okay. Priming the lid is optional, usually for the cream shadows. Usually I do it just to cover any discoloration. Some people had redness, but Cindy actually had you have a pretty even lid, so you probably on her you wouldn't need to prime, but I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so now we're gonna go in. This is Laura Mercier. This is a cream shadow stick. This is brown. This is the shade COACO, and these are called the caviar sticks.
Caviar. I
Yeah.
like their line.
Yeah. You've used the caviar stuff before? Yeah, so we are just going to go ahead and draw right in her crease where I would put the shadow. And I'm being careful not to go too high on Cindy because I am going to blend this out with a brush. And then I want to give her a little bit of a V shape. So I'm going to go from the edge of the lash line out like that. So this is my shape. So we're going to do it on both sides.
So you go in the crease?
Okay. So I go in the crease. I'm going slightly above your crease just because you have the lid space to pull it off, but depending on your eye shape.
So cream is okay for mature women? I mean,
Yes. Cream is amazing for mature skin because it's very, very natural. Okay, so we're going to go in with a blending brush. And I am just going to do little circles and very, very lightly blend this out. So this is going to be pressing the color into the skin and spreading it a little bit. But what's fun about creams is you could use your finger and do this. Like it honestly is so fast. Like you just draw it on, use your finger to blend it, and you're so good.
Oh,
so
that's good when you're on the run.
Yes, when you're in a hurry.
That makes it nice, like if you're traveling and you don't want to bring everything.
Totally. And what I like about it too is wherever you apply the cream first, where you draw it on is going to be the darkest, but then when you blend it out, it lightens a little bit in your crease, so it's going to look like I put on a couple different shadows, but it's only the one color.
Really? So you can layer it and you can...
Yeah, you definitely can layer it, but it's kind of nice. I usually only need to do one pass with it. Like I'll go in dark where I want the deepest color to be, and then I'll buff it out.
Oh, okay.
Which is another reason it's fast, because with shadows, I'm like adding more and adding more and adding more. But with the cream, you add it and then you lighten it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Kind of like backwards.
You can blend it and thin it out in areas that you want.
Exactly.
Now, because of my lid, do you go a little bit higher to lift? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit higher on you. So you have such a good eye shape. You have like a nice deep crease. So I just went, go ahead and close for me. So I drew my line. This is her crease, and I went slightly above. And then, yes, I'm buffing it up about to there is where I want the color to be. So I'm bringing the color up, but it's very light. And even that is so beautiful. Like, we could be done with this eye. I'm going to add probably a lighter cream on the lid to show you guys, but it's so fun.
I always wondered when I thought it would be too late to put light on the lid because it brings your eye, but it's okay as far as...
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to try it with you. I feel like with your eye shape, you could pull off both. Like, it'd be really pretty to also do dark on your lid, kind of for like a smoky eye.
Okay.
But when you open your eyes, I really like that you can see some of your lid, and I think it'd be pretty if we did like a lighter color. What do you usually do? Do you do eyeshadow?
I do primer, eyeshadow. I do concealer, primer on my face, foundation. I use bronzer and blush. I do use a creamy blush.
Okay, which one do you like? I'm going to turn you towards me.
Bobbi Brown.
She has good products. What color is your blush? Like, which is it more like a peachy or a pink?
It's more of a pinky, but I've never really tried peachy. I don't know if that's... I've always kind of stayed in the cool colors.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you could pull off both because your eyes seem like a warmer tone to me. I feel like your skin has pink in it, so you could kind of go both ways. I think you'll like the blush I'm going to use on you today because it's like a rose, like a rose-colored cream. It's kind of pinky. It's pretty.
I just feel that I'm looking to feel like spring as far as...
Yes. Yeah, like spring tone colors. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and look forward. Okay. And you guys, we are live today, so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat, and I will answer them as we move throughout the makeup. So this is what, go ahead and look forward. This is what just the brown shadow looks like. So you could be done with this. This could be the eyes. I'm going to show you how to do a bit more layering, just so if you want to do extra steps, you can. But like, how fast was this? How amazing. Like, her eyes look done. I'll show you at the very end.
I could be out the door in a few minutes.
Like, how fast. And I'm using a brush. I'm going to be really picky with it. But like I said, you could draw the shape. So when you're doing it at home, if you're in a hurry, be picky about your shape. When you're drawing on the shape, get it nice and even, put it in the right place, like spend your time on that. And then, like I said, just with a finger, just quickly diffuse it with a brush, quickly diffuse it, like you actually can kind of skip corners doing that step. Just get your shape on right, because that's choosing where your dark is going to be.
Where do you start at? Do you start at the corner, or do you start in the middle? Or?
So on the corner, because I like it to be darkest there. So on this eye, first I drew your crease, and then I connected the corner.
Okay.
But on this one, I did the corner first and then connected the crease. But on both of them, I kind of started on the outside. And
then the brush that you used to blend?
This one's a Morphe. It's the M443. It can be any beveled brush. Do you have brushes like this? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most people do. I have a whole ton of brands. I have MAC. I have Sigma. Like, these are all different brands, but similar. Just a beveled blending brush. Okay, this is the light color. This is same cavier stick. This was one that they sent to me in like a sample pack. So this is called Rose Gold. So this is a little small travel one, but it's kind of like a champagne-y color. So we're going to do, it's pretty.
It's not too stark.
No, it's not too stark. It's very champagne.
It's very pretty.
Go ahead and close for me. So this I'm going to do right near your lash line. So with this one, I'm going in with a bit of a different technique. Instead of really drawing it on and then going in and blending it, I'm blending it as I go. So I'm starting near the lash line because that's where I want it to be the most vibrant. And I'm just lightly kind of swishing it out, if you will, as I get more near the crease. And then I'm going to go in with a clean blending brush and then just really lightly diffuse that out. This one has more sparkle. The brown one, the COACO, is like a little bit more matte. So I'm being careful where I put it. See how it's like.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I like that.
It has great undertones too.
Yeah.
Like it's like not too warm, but it definitely has some bronze. It literally looks like cocoa, like the cocoa powder.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It's very pretty on you. All my models this week, everything I use, they're like, okay, when we're done, they have to write it all down.
I'm going to take a picture of everything.
I feel like you'll be getting the cocoa stick.
When I go to the store, this is what I want.
Yes, it's so fun. Okay, go ahead and look at me. So I think what I'm going to do on Cindy, I think I'm going to line her lower water lines just to create kind of a shadow there on both sides. So this is another cream product. This is a eye pencil, which I don't do a lot on my channel, so I wanted to show you guys today. So this is the Marc Jacobs. These are called Highliners, and this is matte. They have two highliner lines. They have a shimmery, like pearlized finish, and they have the matte finish. I love the matte finish. This one is called Brownie, and this is the world's best brown color. Go ahead and look up for me. So I'm just gonna go right in her waterline. This is what I wear in my waterline every day. I love it. Because it's not like harsh like a black.
Okay.
And I like the matte finish. Sometimes like gel liners will be kind of shiny and have kind of like glitter in them.
Right.
And I don't always love it.
Right.
That's really pretty. It's like matches your eye color almost. Go ahead and look up.
Does it last all day, or do you just have to touch it up throughout the day?
It depends. On some people it lasts all day. It wears pretty well on me. The fact that it is matte, like it has a matte finish, helps it wear longer. But it's really easy to touch up if you wanted to. I don't.
Okay.
Because I like the way it wears. If it kind of wears away from the waterline, it'll kind of migrate into your lash line.
It looks nice.
Yeah, so it's still pretty. Go ahead and look at me. Pretty. Go ahead and look up.
It feels so soft.
It's very soft. It's very, very creamy, which I like. Because some pencil liners are so
they're
dry. Yeah, and they're rough, and you're like,
right.
I don't want my eye to be tucked out. Go ahead and look up. No, thank you. We want to preserve the skin so we can all look like Cindy when we're 60. Guys, she told me she's 62, and it blew my mind. You look so good. We all need your tips. What's your best beauty secret?
Lots of water.
Okay.
Exercise when you can, as much as you can, even if it's walking. Have fun.
Have
friends and family.
That's true.
Important.
Your mental health and your physical health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And laugh.
And laugh. Oh, I love these. These are great tips. Go ahead and look forward. This is so good. I love walking.
Oh, I do too.
It's like the best. I'm taking my little puppies on a walk.
Don't take life too serious.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Just goes by so fast. You don't remember the things you were worried about.
Things you worry about isn't important tomorrow.
So true. Okay, so this might be my completed eye look on Cindy.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, it's
that's
so
great.
fast. I think under this eye, I'm going to add a little bit more brown. I feel like they're not fully even, so
okay.
Go ahead and look up for me.
And this is Marc Jacobs?
This is Marc Jacobs. So these liners are a little bit more pricey. I can't remember how much they are. I'll list them for you. But they really do have the best colors and the best finish that I have found.
And I think they last longer because you don't need as much.
They do. They wear really well. They have like a really light kind of pink one. Like, have you ever seen people do like white in the waterline to make their eyes really open? So white is really pretty in like photos, but it's very harsh in person. Yes, but Marc Jacobs has a pink, and it's a brightening color. So it's like a cream color, like a neutral, but it has a pink base, and that one's really pretty. And I feel like you can wear that one in real life, in the wild, and you don't look like you have white eyeliner. Okay, so we are going to do some NARS Foundation on Cindy today. I already moisturized her before we started to let that sink in. She said she has you have more like combination skin.
Yes.
You get a little bit oily around the nose. So I'm just going in with a really light layer because Cindy does have such a great skin texture. She doesn't need too much. I'm just going to spread it on with my brush. So this is the foundation I've been using a lot lately. This is NARS. This is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And this is shade medium 3.5, which was like a perfect match on you. Usually I'm mixing like a couple for people, but you were 3.5. Exactly.
I've never tried the NARS foundation. It feels really light.
It is really light, and it has a matte finish, but it doesn't get cakey.
See, that's what I like.
Yeah. I like it because I like a good coverage. Like if I'm going in with foundation, I like it to cover.
Same here.
Yeah, because I don't like to mess with too many concealers and stuff like that. But it's hard. They're also like thick. Like the MAC one and the, I'm blanking on the other ones. Anyways, any that are full coverage are very thick, but this one is more thin. I saw so many people review it and love it, but I tried it on myself and I didn't like it on me. It got a little bit patchy, but I have never, other than me, every face I love it on. I just don't love it. I'm wearing it today though. I think I was adding powder. Like when I do my own makeup, I add more layers. Like I do the things I don't do on people. I just pile it on real quick. But like I was wearing it with the MAC foundation powder over top, and that was probably just not a good idea.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I love it on, I think it's a really pretty finish on you.
It feels really good.
Yeah, I really like it. And another thing I learned about it is it works really well with a brush. And this is just an e.l.f. brush. I think this was $3.
Really?
Yeah.
It looked like it was Laura Mercier.
Yeah.
It really did. That's their colors.
The black on black.
Yeah.
And they have good brushes.
Yes, they do.
Yes. No, I applied it on myself with the Beauty Blender, and it doesn't work as well with the Beauty Blender. It's like a brush foundation. Like sometimes I'll go over after. I'm going to turn you towards me a little bit. After with the Beauty Blender just for the finish, but if you apply it just with the Beauty Blender, you will not like it. I didn't like it.
It doesn't lay down right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I struggle with the Beauty Blender sometimes. I feel like it takes too much product off.
Oh yeah, it totally.
The sponge absorbs it.
Yes, it totally does. Yeah, I started using like a flat brush and putting foundation on, and then I would go in with the Beauty Blender because then it didn't like eat all the product.
Oh, okay.
But I really love this kabuki one. And it also, like, you want to do a lot of pressing motions with this foundation because it kind of dries quickly. Like if you're buffing it in, it'll
So lift. You spread it with this brush?
Okay. Well, I spread it first with this one.
Okay.
But sometimes I'll put it right on the brush and I will just dab until it's blended. But it's kind of habit for me. If I'm not really thinking of what I'm doing, I pick up my other brush because that's what I used to do. I'm going to turn you just a little bit so yeah, I work on this side. But it gives you really great coverage.
It smells good too.
Oh, good. It might be my brush cleaner that you smell. Does it smell like vanilla?
Yes, it does.
That might be my brush cleaner. It lingers.
And you got this at a drugstore or?
The foundation or the brush?
The brush.
Yes. Probably Target.
Okay.
e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush.
Okay.
It's a good one. Someone recommended online their brushes. And the couple of them I didn't like. I didn't like any of their eye ones, but this one, so good.
That's good.
Good find.
I'm like you. I have Morphe, Sigma, and MAC.
Yes. Yeah, they're all good. All great brushes. I have never used Morphe shadows. I don't think I've used any of their makeup, but their brushes, I really like them.
I like their individual pots, but their palettes, I'm not.
You're not a fan? Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to just spot conceal a little bit on her with this foundation, or this concealer. Let's do medium. Okay, so this is also NARS.
Okay.
This is like their cream concealer, so it's in a little pot, and I really love this for spot concealing.
So you don't use this under your eyes. This is more.
Okay. Spot concealer. Sometimes I've played with it under my eyes, but it's a little bit too thick.
Too thick.
Like, how it's like kind of a dense cream. Sometimes I'll use it like on the inner corners of people's eyes if they have like blue or something, like a lot of pigment there. But Oh, and the shades. I grabbed a whole bunch of shades when I went makeup shopping, but I think I need a couple darker ones. So what I'm going to do is spot conceal with this on her, but it's a little bit too light, but I like the coverage. And then I'm going to go over it again with foundation, just these areas. But sometimes I do like to brighten. I like to brighten this area.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes around the nose.
The frown lines.
A little bit. I feel like you don't even have wrinkles. Like your skin is so good.
You're very kind.
You don't, like, younger people have more lines than you do. Okay. What foundation did you say you liked?
I use Estee Lauder, the 24-hour.
Is it the double wear?
Uh-huh.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves that. I need to try that. So you like a good coverage too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's a good coverage.
I like it because it doesn't become cakey, or it gives you full coverage, but you don't feel like you're wearing a mask. But this seems like it would be nice for the spring and summer.
Yeah, this is like for your good skin days, but you still want a lot of coverage. I'd probably love the Estee Lauder. I need to try it.
I think you would like it.
I'll go grab some. So I am just taking her foundation shade and pressing over the spot concealing we did, and I'm being very careful. I'm not going in as strong as I did before. I'm going in with the light hand, and I'm just pressing the pigment over it because I want the color to change, but I want to leave that that coverage there. All right, and I think we have some questions coming in, so I will check those, and then we'll conceal her under eyes. Okay, I'm going to pull up the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in live. I always love our live friends. Hi, Jen S. They said thank you for modeling today. Cindy's such a great model. Okay, I love being able to watch you apply cream shadows. They've always intimidated. Yeah, they can be. People just don't know what to do with them because they just come in like sticks, and we're like, what do I do with this? Like, we're used to our eyeshadow palettes, but they're so fun, especially for spring, like you're saying.
Yes.
In summer or traveling, or just when you want like a quick makeup look. They're honestly fantastic. I don't know why they're not more popular. Okay, what brush is the best type to use on cream shadows, natural hair or synthetic? You can use both. I tend to prefer synthetic hairs. I am let's see. So the one I used was Morphe. I'll actually have to look up to see if it was synthetic. Let me see. Okay, so the one I used was the Morphe M433. It looks like, it actually looks like hair. It looks like goat hair. I'll have to look online to see, and it worked well. But generally, a good rule of thumb for creams, synthetic is really good. And I'm trying to kind of migrate a lot of my brushes more towards synthetic anyways, just so they're cruelty free. And synthetic brushes I feel like hold up better through the years. The natural brushes tend to dry out. But so to answer your question, you can use either. I think what I used was goat hair on her, but synthetic is great for creams, especially foundation. Synthetic is usually best. This e.l.f. brush looks like it's synthetic. Usually creams work really well with that. Do you use primer when using cream shadows? You don't need to. They kind of act as a primer, like these, the Laura Mercier, although they're very creamy and spreadable. You can tell they do have a really good grip to them, like they'll grip to the lid. Mm-hmm. And because they're so pigmented, you can skip the primer. But if you have a lot of color variation on your natural lid, if you have purple and red and white, just if you don't really have an even canvas and you like to prime, you can, but probably I would actually prime with like a long wear concealer or something like that versus a really heavy primer, just so you don't get grip. Like sometimes primers will kind of have too much of a stick to them, if that makes sense. So what I would recommend, if you're playing with creams, do it without priming first and see if you like it, see how it looks, and it will save you time because a lot of the times we use cream to save time. So try it without the primers. If you need it, go for it. But what are they called? Highliner. Okay, the Marc Jacobs liners that we used on her, Marc Jacobs, and it is called Highliner, like high in the sky liner. I don't know why, instead of eyeliner. And then it's a matte gel eye crayon. I will link these after I change her thumbnail. I'll also go into the description and I will link and list everything for you guys. So Marc Jacobs Highliner, I like the matte shade. They have matte and metallic, and this is the shade Brownie. The very best brown.
It's very pretty.
So pretty. Okay. I used a cream eyeshadow stick once so far, and the brush for me was hard to blend it. What am I doing wrong? It could be your brand of cream eyeshadow. So, it's really hard to formulate an awesome cream shadow because a lot of companies will make it a little too dry just so that it really adheres to the lid, and it's a little bit hard to blend that way. And as I'm rubbing this swatch, I just swatched it on my hand, but as you blend immediately. Like I did draw it initially on both eyes on her just so that my shape was really even, but if you're going to be really slow, maybe do one eye at the time because they do like dry down. Like I don't know if you can see, probably not, but I just kind of swatched on my hand and I was like talking to you guys, and then when I went to rub it, like see how patchy it is because it's set. So they do set, so blend it right away with whatever you want. Try different formulas, but if you have one, try it again and just try maybe a different blending technique. I'm going to take that off my hand. Oh, and it wears pretty good. I'm using my micellar water and it's kind of still there.
Yeah.
So Laura Mercier, guys, these have really great staying powders. I kind of have to scrub it off. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. We list everything in the comments. Yeah, I can. Usually what I do is I list it in the description box. So after we're done being live, this video will upload to a normal video. So there's like a little arrow, like a drop down menu, and I list everything there. But if I ever miss something in there, or you guys ever have a product question, I always answer my comments. So if you ever leave a comment, I will list it for you. It was Profusion, Jen says. Was that the brand of cream shadow you used? I'm not familiar with that. Okay. Amy says, yay, caught you live for the first time. Welcome, Amy. I'm glad. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys, let's move on to her under eye concealer. So looking at her, she has pretty even under eyes. We're not working with a lot of dark circles. We did some spot concealing more so right there with concealer already. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe just brighten slightly and do a concealer shade maybe just like a half shade lighter than her foundation, but I don't want to go too light. I really like these NARS concealers, but I might not have the right shade for her. I'm going to see. Try this one. Okay, so this is NARS. I'm going to probably use two colors. This is NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. So this is pretty, and then I'm also going to go a little bit darker and use the shade Medium by Tarte, and also mix in the shade Light Medium by Tarte. So what I'm going to do for her is first I'm just going to give her a little coverage with my Tarte concealers. And I barely use any. The Tarte concealers are fantastic, but you don't want to have a heavy hand. So I'm just going to go in with those and just even out the color under her eyes. And then I'm going to brighten with the NARS. And as I'm getting these on her, I like the shade Medium better by Tarte. The Shape Tape is what the Tarte concealers are called. What do you like under your eyes usually, Cindy?
I use Makeup Forever. It's an overall concealer.
Okay. Is it in like a stick, like one of these?
No, actually it's like, almost looks like a bottle like that.
Oh, like a foundation almost. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's really light. It's a multi-use, I think it's called.
To try it. Makeup Forever has some great products.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good stuff.
I think it's the Hourglass line.
Hourglass is good too. I love Hourglass's finishing powders.
I do too.
The best.
They're so pretty and light.
Yes.
So you used one color for the line, the darker, and then you You're going in with a lighter shade, or okay.
So this is the shade Medium by Tarte is what I'm doing kind of all over, just to get, just to cover things. And then I'm going to go in with one to brighten a little bit, not with that beauty blender because I just dropped it. Okay, I'm going to spread it with this brush. So I like to go in with the beauty blender after. So what I use like a synthetic brush. So this is It Cosmetics, and I very lightly tap in the pigment everywhere I want it to be, and then I usually go in with the beauty blender, but I dropped it, so I have to clean it and not use it on you. And I like to blend everything, but I'm going to use this Morphe brush. This one's nice because it's slanted and it's flat at the top, so it's really great for like packing. So it's really good. So I'm just going to press in this brush because it's clean. It's going to absorb anything extra, like if I got too much pigment under there, and it's going to diffuse it, like spread it out. So it doesn't settle in any lines. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my NARS concealer. This one is like a warmer kind of pinky tone, and I'm going to highlight. So this area, I like to brighten this area of the face. I think it's really pretty. Kind of in by the nose and under the eye. I like a nice highlight.
Kind of raises your cheeks.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It also is nice when you contour a little bit. It just kind of brings the eyes to the center of the face and lifts things like you were saying. But it's generally never flattering to just go in with a light under eye. Just
it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, so I like to layer it.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. And lately, I've kind of been doing a little more under eye coverage for the camera, just because when you do layer it, you get that brightening look and it's beautiful. The one downside is it's more product, which isn't always great for under the eye. So for every day doing it this way, you just have to see what works personally for you.
But it seems like you don't use very much product, so that's the upside on that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't go in with very much. When you do really thin layers like that, it keeps it from looking cakey too. So now I'm going in with that brightening color, the shade Honey by NARS, and I'm just brightening certain areas of her face. I like to brighten around the mouth and on the chin a little bit, and up there, and then just slightly on the nose. Okay, let's go in. So let's do you guys want to see some cream contouring in congruence with our other creams? Okay. I will thank you for these live chats and videos. I need all the help I can get. You're so sweet. I'm glad they're helpful to you. I think we all think we need a lot more help than we do. I'm sure you guys are doing amazing, but I'm glad that this is helpful, and I am here for you guys. Do you prefer a gel for brows or powder for brows? So on Cindy, I did both, and I pulled the colors so that I could show you guys what I did. So Cindy has more sparse brows than she would like naturally, so we did a lot of shaping. In fact, let's flash her before video in the bottom corner so you guys see as I explain it to you. We'll flash the video before we did the brows. So I initially went in with the Anastasia Soft Brown. This is the Brow Wiz, so this is a gel pencil, and I used my fun little brow shapers on her today. So like the little brow stencils, have you guys seen these before? They're really, really fun if you don't have as much brows as you would like and you want to create a shape. Cindy said you have these, right?
Yes.
But you've never used them
I've
before.
been intimidated.
They look intimidating.
I'm going to watch the video and see how you did it.
They're not in the video. We did.
Oh, no.
But if you guys want a video on this, let me know. They're very fun. So I went in with the Anastasia gel in soft brown on Cindy. This one has a slight warmer undertone, and she has dark hair, but I really like the chocolatey highlight she has. So usually I go to the lighter color in the hair first for brows, and then I deepen it up. So put down the gel, and then I finished it with a powder. I used I'll hold it up by your face so the camera can see. I used chocolate. I used this darker shade, and then as we got in towards the middle of her brow, I used the lighter shade. These two mixed. Just again, because this is warm, I felt like this pulled the colors from her hair the best. And she has a really beautiful, like rich warm tones in her eyes. So I didn't want to give her like a black brow, which I think a lot of people tend to do. Like if you look at her, like I would say you have very dark brown, if not black hair, right? Naturally.
Yes.
Yeah, but she just has these pretty highlights, and you have such pretty rich tones in your skin and your eyes. Like your brows make a huge difference. So if you really play with those colors, the final look of your makeup is really pretty. So sorry, my answers are always very long-winded, but I just want to give you guys all the best of my answers. So okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do a little cream contouring, and then we will do cream blush, because I know you guys love that. I did that for the first time, I think on Monday this week, or it was last week, and you guys loved it. Okay, so this is Graftobian. These are some cream contours. You have to buy these. They come in like a palette with a bunch of different colors, so these are really good for makeup artists. For personal use though, if you just want one shade, Huda Beauty has some really good ones. This one is the shade Fair. It's very pretty. I like that on lighter skin tones. So if you wanted to just buy one shade, we are going to use these Graftobian ones today.
Where do you pick those up at?
So this one, have you heard of Namie's? It's in LA.
No.
Okay, most people haven't. It's like a makeup distribution center, and anyone can shop there, but if you're a makeup artist, you get discounts and stuff like that. So that's where I go. I'll try to link this one still for you guys. I'll see where I can find it online, because it is a good one. Okay, so I'm actually going to use my foundation brush again, because I really like how dense this e.l.f. brush is. When you press hard, it doesn't spread out too much. So I'm just going to swirl that into my contour colors. And I'm just going to start tapping it on her cheek. And I usually use my beauty blender, so I'm very sad that I dropped it. But I'll show you guys how to use it with brushes. And she has a great like natural like cheekbone and contour to her face, so I'm just kind of working with that. And the trick with the contour is I like to stop about where their cheek is. It gets difficult when you mess with that area. It's easier to make mistakes than it is to sculpt the face the way you want. So I like to stay up here, and this contour is a bronzy tone, like a bronzy color, and so I'm also using it as like a bronzer, like a kind of a base for my blush.
So you stop at the end of your cheeks?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, about where the corner of your eye is.
Okay.
You drew a line down.
Oh, okay.
That's like where I stop usually.
Okay.
And then I really like to work it into the hairline. And these colors will be really pretty on you too, like these kind of warm bronzy colors. And we don't need to contour Cindy's forehead much. She has like we're not working with too much space or too little space, so I'm not changing the shape of it. I'm just adding some depth. If your forehead or your client's forehead is too large, you would obviously like contour down a little bit more. If it's too small, you would skip the contour, or you just stay right in the hairline just to add some color, but you wouldn't want to darken the face, because anytime we darken, it recedes. Anything we lighten, it brings forward and makes it look larger. And now that there's not much on my brush, I'm just working the jaw area slightly, just to give it some color, a little bit of shading. Okay, and I was able, sometimes what I'll do is like establish my line on both sides, and then I'll go in with my beauty blender and really buff it out. But what I did, because I'm just using the brush, is I applied the contour to just one side of it, and then my other side that just had the foundation we had used on Cindy today, I turned it to that side, and then I blended it in, which really helps it match her foundation because it is her foundation shade. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good little tip. Okay, let's do, and we'll just do like a slight nose contour. I am not going to do anything too extreme on Cindy, but I am just going to sculpt the nose slightly.
And what are you using for that?
Same contour, just like the cream, the Graftobian,
okay.
same colors, but this is a angled synthetic brush. So
On the side of the bridge of it? Okay.
Yeah, so you can just kind of draw on the bridge of the nose. So just draw that in, and then you can blend it with the brush, you can blend it with the beauty blender, or you can blend it with the foundation brush if you want to. Okay, let's do our blush. Okay, so this is also NARS. I have recently really started liking NARS. This is their liquid blush, so it's similar to a cream, and this is in the shade Orgasm. So this shade is NARS best-selling powder blush. It has been for years and years and years. It's the shade Orgasm. Have you ever used that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
That's why I'm shaking my head. Yes,
I felt like
I
you knew.
It. It's pretty.
It's good.
But I didn't know it came in cream.
Yes, it comes in liquid, and it's so pretty. It's a very, very flattering rose tone. It has some hints of gold in it. It is not, it's probably a cool, well, I don't know if it's a cool shade. It has gold in it, so it has some warmth, but it's flattering when people like to wear cool tones too. It's extremely universal. This blush looks good on everybody.
Very brightening.
Yeah, exactly. It's very brightening. And I wore this today too. I also have on this NARS blush. So you just squirt out. It is liquid. You need to shake it really well before you use it because the product separates. And I just put a little bit on my hand, and I like to do this with my finger. You can use a brush, and then I'm gonna go right on like the high apples of Cindy's cheekbones and just start where I want it to be the darkest and then just work it out. The reason I like to use the finger is because it presses it into the face really, really well, and your finger has some warmth to it, so it's going to make contact with the skin, and it's really going to blend the blush very well. And you always want to apply creams on creams, so I don't want to powder Cindy's face before I do this liquid blush, or the textures would not work well together. So we just left her liquid foundation, and now I'm adding the blush. Okay, turn this side to me. Great.
So you use very little, then you just, it looks like it's very sheer too.
Yeah, it's actually like extremely pigmented, so that's why I use very little and I do layers, because then it shears it out. That's what's nice about liquid blush and cream blush. It's really pretty to see the skin underneath, to have it kind of be a sheer look. It's more natural. And I feel like this blush probably has a little bit of shimmer. It has like a slight metallic like sheen, which I like. No glitter that I can see.
No glitter, please.
Yeah, no. And he's like, please, Julie, do not put glitter on my cheeks. But it's beautiful. Go ahead and look forward. So pretty. It's a good shade on you.
And that's what color?
What shade was the blush? Orgasm.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. It's a memorable name.
Yes.
That's probably another reason why it was their bestseller. Too Faced does that. The brand Too Faced with their like makeup, like their mascara is called Better Than Sex.
Right.
You just remember it. It works for them. Okay. Love that. Let's do a cream highlighter. So I have, this is Anastasia. This is the Liquid Glow. This is in the shade Perla. Is that your phone?
Yes,
that's okay. Do you mind if we silence it?
No, go for it.
Kelly, you can silence it if you don't mind.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. We got producer Kelly in the corner. She's here for us. I forgot to tell you to silence it. Okay, so this is Perla. This is by Anastasia. This is the Liquid Glow. These are very glowy, so I'm only using a teeny bit. Perla, I believe, is their lightest shade. Cindy you could do Perla, or the shade right under this is a little more gold. It's also very pretty. So I'm just putting this on like the high points of your cheeks just to brighten things up. So I'm just showing you guys all the cream products today. So obviously, I said at the beginning I like creams because they're quick and easy. You can pick and choose what you want. If you're going for a quick look, I would absolutely do the caviar sticks on the eye. You could even do just the brown shade. I showed you on Cindy after we just did the brown how complete it looked. You can add the second shade like I did, and then I would do that, and then I would do the cream blush, and you could be very like,
I am so impressed. I mean, I just love all the products.
Oh yay! And you haven't even seen it yet. You can maybe kind of see it on my little skin. Good. And that's important. That's the thing with makeup. Sometimes it feels so heavy, especially when we like a lot of coverage.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What lipstick shade do you like, Cindy?
It varies. Sometimes I'll wear lip gloss or just like a sheer rose color.
Rose color.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking for you. I think we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do Faux by MAC, or we're going to do, let's see if Cosmo's too pink on you. I want to do like a rosy lip on you to match your cheeks.
And that's the other thing, as you get older, your lips start thinning. So.
Start thinning out. Do you use lip liner ever?
Sometimes, but then I find that it runs sometimes. It kind of bleeds.
Oh, yeah. Let's try lip liner on you today and see if you like it. This one is NYX. This is in the shade Natural. I really like the NYX liners. You have to tell me how it wears, because I actually feel like the lip liners tend to make it bleed less. But obviously, if you just did like a sheer balm and a gloss, like that's for sure not going to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do something a little more bold. Let me check. I'll check and see if we have questions while I do the lips, because Cindy can't talk when I do her lips, so I can't ask her questions. Okay. Jen says yes, it was the Profusion. I have some, but probably using them wrong too. Notice the powder works good with the stencils. Yeah, the stencil on the brows are really fun. I recommend trying it if you would like to do something new with your brows. Thanks for the contour forehead tip. You're welcome. So all cream products, then powders. Okay, yes. Always your creams first, and then we set with powders at the very end. A lot of people, when they play with makeup or they buy new products, we're just looking at the color. We're not looking at the texture, and the texture is very, very important. Mm-hmm. It affects how it feels, like Cindy was saying. It affects the look, if it falls into fine lines or plays well with our skin texture, with acne and stuff like that. So definitely, that's why people like the creams, is the texture is really good. Powders tend to enhance the texture in not a great way usually.
No, and then by midday everything is set in the fine lines.
In the powders. So I like to sculpt my line with the lip liner, and then sometimes if I really want to clean up my shape, get a really perfect shape, I'll put her foundation shade on this like flat brush, and I'll just shape the lips. And I have a makeup palette. I put all her colors on here. You don't have to do this for yourself, but for clients it's really nice. And I like it because then you have their shades here, so I kind of keep it segregated. Like I have her foundation over here. This was her contour. These were the 3 concealers I used, so I know where they are and I can dip back in with my brush. I don't have to re-squirt product every time I want to do little tweaks like this. And this brush, this is the Sigma E15. And this is really great for defining things like this. I also defined her brow with this. So since I was creating a whole new shape for Cindy on her brows, I did the gel pencil, the brow wiz, and then I did the powders. But then I also went in and cleaned it up with this brush because it made it look more perfect, more precise, and more natural too. It looks very much like it's her brow. All right, so now that that is on, let's do your lipstick. Oh, hi Chelsea, thanks for watching. I never wanted to use cream products because I was nervous when I would set my makeup after that all my hard work would be washed away because it would be too diffused. Do you see that happen? Not usually. Like if you use a sheer powder or something like that on your face, the cream products will show through. I just am careful. So like let's say I'm going to set Cindy, which I might actually because she gets a little oily. I just want to set in the areas where she gets oily. So I'll set between people's brows, always around the nose, usually the chin, but most people don't need to be set so much over here, like over the blush per se. Yeah, does that answer your question? Just kind of be careful where you set and be careful what products you use too. Like some people will set with a like a foundation powder and then that kind of will cover up the cream, but if you did like a translucent powder and you did want to set her whole face, you could. Hopefully that answered your question. Do you suggest any lip plumping glosses like City Lips? I have never tried City Lips. I do like plumping glosses. the ones that I've tried, I have one by Biobeauty, and I can use a little bit of that on Cindy. I don't tend to carry a lot of them because because the products that kind of make things tingly and make things plump, I don't ever want anyone to have a reaction. So I haven't tried too many of them, but if you guys have good suggestions, City Lips, has anyone tried City Lips? I feel like that would be good to know. I feel like they used to be really popular, the lip plumpers, and now they kind of aren't, which is funny because I feel like larger lips are more popular than they used to be. Like, you can go ahead and kind of open for me. Like the fillers. You know what though I've noticed? A lot of like people I follow on Instagram and stuff that are kind of known for the big lips, they're dissolving their fillers. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Habit Salon on Instagram. They do the best hair, and they do Brielle Bieberman. Do you watch The Housewives ever?
Yes.
Okay, so Kim Zolciak. Right?
Okay.
Her daughter's name is Brielle, which is my daughter's name, so I think she's
really?
Oh. Yeah, not because of that. I think I found her after. But anyways, she just dissolved her lip fillers and looks so good. Brielle did. And I've noticed that I think Kylie Jenner actually kind of dissolved hers too. I mean, they're still bigger than they were, but people aren't going quite as big. Okay, I like that. That's a pretty tone on you.
What
I like
color
it.
is that?
So that is MAC, and that is Cosmo. So it's this one.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's very similar to the Orgasm blush.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hold it up to the camera so you guys can see. So this one's Cosmo, and this is the Orgasm blush, so very similar, just a little darker. Usually on lips I like it a little bit deeper, then probably this would be a little washed out on her. And then the lip liner I did was NYX in the shade Natural, I believe, yes. So the shade Natural, it's brown based, but it has a little bit of warmth, like a little bronze, so it kind of warmed up the Cosmo color on her. And I will add, you like gloss? You said you usually wear gloss, right? We'll add a little bit.
Going back to powders, I set my under eye with the Laura Mercier translucent. Should I not do that? I mean, can I get away with not doing it? That the concealer will last?
It depends on what you use. So the Tarte Shape Tape that we did on you, it dries more matte, so sometimes it's self-setting. Do your under eyes tend to crease? They do? Okay. Sometimes when they tend to crease, it is good to set. Yours aren't really too... I haven't set you yet, and you're not really creasing too much.
Maybe it's the product that I use.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to not set your under eyes, and you can see how you like it. It's honestly just varies person to person. Like if I was doing your makeup for an event, I would set you. Just because it's like the safe bet. Laura Mercier, have you ever used this? It's called Secret Brightening Powder.
I've tried it before.
Yeah. It's made for under the eyes. It's like a thinner.
It is, rather than the translucent, because I use the Laura Mercier translucent, but this is probably better.
So it's just different. The translucent's my favorite, and I still will use that under people's eyes. It's a little bit thicker than the Secret Brightening. I can't decide if I love the Secret Brightening like better than the other one. I use the one you use mostly under the eyes. But the Secret Brightening, if you want to play with different textures under your eyes, it's worth like getting a sample at Sephora and seeing if you like it better. But the one you use is great. That's what I use.
I also like the Hourglass Veil. Is that okay to use under the eyes or not really?
I think so, because it's a pretty thin powder. I think I've used it under the eyes too. I don't think it sets quite as well as Laura Mercier. I think the finish is a little more natural, not as matte. But you can use it.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's just trying stuff. Like as long as it's eye safe, you can use anything under the eye. Just see, it's good to see what it looks like in pictures. Like if you find something you love, like take a picture and see, because sometimes things will flash kind of weird under the eyes. If you ever had that happen, it'll look like really light.
So what are you applying right now?
So this is the one you use. I just put it in like a little container. This is the Laura Mercier. So, but I didn't do under the eyes. So I just did where you're going to get oily. Okay. I just lightly did like edges of the nose, slightly on the top between the brows, the same places I was telling Chelsea to set.
Now, how does this hold up like during the summer when you know, it gets hot and you're sweating and that kind of, I mean, I don't perspire much,
Yeah.
but does it hold up pretty well?
It does, yeah. Sometimes when it's hot, this is weird, but sometimes I like to powder less because I feel like if you powder too much, then, you know, when it does get hot, it kind of breaks
Right.
down. But if you leave it dewy and just maybe touch up around your nose or something like that.
Okay.
Like my husband and I went to Thailand and it was so hot and so humid that I just stopped powdering and I felt like my makeup stayed all day. Like I just looked
okay.
glowy.
That's
So I
good.
didn't
That's good to know.
perspire either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, and drop them now because there's like a little bit of lag. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. Thank you for joining us. Just got home to watch the end. I really love the tip you gave with pulling all her products used on the tray. Thanks. I'm always looking for what I used. Yeah. Jacqueline is a makeup artist too. She's great. So I love this one. I used to use the little stainless steel ones and they're a little bit smaller, but this one's pretty big. So I feel like I can keep all my products segregated. So I really like it.
Where do you get that at?
This one I got in LA too. I'll try to
Okay.
find something.
I think you need to do a road trip.
I know. Take all my models to LA.
Yeah.
It's in Burbank. It's called Namies. Anybody can shop there. If you're ever in Burbank, go to Namies. It's like makeup Disneyland.
Okay,
It's very
I'll have to
magical.
write that down.
Yeah, you'll love it. Tips to make smaller top lip look bigger. Okay, so lip liner is really great when you want to reshape the lip using a natural color. So my three favorites are the natural from NYX that I used on her, Los Angeles from NYX if you want a slight more of a cool tone and darker, and then Sandstorm is really pretty too. And I have found that most people with their top lip, if you have a thin top lip, you'll have like the lip kind of shape there, but maybe your line is just not really strong. Like some people have a really strong natural lip line and you can look at them and be like, okay, this is where your lips are. But sometimes you can kind of create them a lip, like you'll have the plumpness, like the fullness there, you just won't really have any pigment. So I'll usually start on the top. So I'll take the line and I start in this little Cupid's area. You can draw an X if you want to keep it symmetrical, and I'll just lightly sculpt out slightly higher. See how that looks, and you can always add to it. Hopefully that helps. I have City Lips and don't feel like it does much. Okay, so we have a review on City Lips. You know, the thing about plumpers that I found is none of them really work miracles. Like even the Biobeauty, the one I did on her, it gives it a slight tingle, and I feel like the more you use it, you get like a very, very slight fullness. But I haven't found anything where you put it on and you're like, whoa, my lips are bigger. If you guys have a comment, let me know. How do you know if products are eye safe? It'll say on the package if they're not eye safe. Thanks Timeless Beauties for the recommendation. Yeah, Timeless Beauty Studios by Jacqueline always in my comments has a really great recommendations. Oh, she said Soap and Glory has a great plumping gloss. Yeah, anything she says, go try. It's always good. I'll have to grab that because I actually would like to find a plumping gloss because it's fun to play with. Okay, we are going to flash Cindy's before on screen for you guys so that you can see before the brows, before the eyes, before the foundation, and then you can see the after, and then we will show Cindy, give her a mirror, see how it looks. We do the before? Okay. All right, you ready, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay, here's the mirror.
Wow.
So
I really
pretty.
like,
Do you like
it.
it?
It looks very, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's
Thank
pretty.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
for being my model. You were
You're
so
welcome.
great.
Thank
You have
you.
Beautiful features. Yeah, it's a great, that Laura Mercier tone is very, very pretty. It's
I'll have
like
to
the
get all the
perfect-
information.
I will write it down for you.
Okay.
And now you have a video. So you can
Okay.
see, you can see
There
it
you
being done
go.
on your own face. You have your own tutorial. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the live. If you ever miss my lives, they always become a normal video. You can reference them later. I will create a list of all the products that I used for you guys today, and we live stream usually 4 days a week, generally 10 a.m. on Monday through Thursday. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You are so great, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you.